It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Rob Wooten, who owns C35 Baseball team along with the softball team, who is also a former UNC Tar Heel player and Brewers and Cincinnati Reds and Atlanta Braves player. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Brandon. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play baseball in high school and then go on to college to go on to the professional?
Yeah, I was just a sports lover growing up as a kid. Stayed outside playing baseball, basketball, football, really whatever season it was. I would be outside playing it, trying to perfect it. I was Michael Jordan on the basketball court. I was Emmitt Smith on the football field and John Smoltz on the baseball field. So I used my imagination as a kid and just continued to love sports growing up. I still love all sports. Baseball was my ticket. I made the right choice, and here I am now.
Can you talk about your career at ACOC and being honored to have your jersey in the Raptor?
Yeah, my baseball career really kind of kicked off as far as getting any kind of notoriety or any notice from any kind of big schools. And I had a really good head coach in Charles Davis there, Hall of Famer in North Carolina. Won a couple state championships, but just had a really good time playing baseball. He made it fun. We had good teams, and then obviously getting my number retired there back in 2017 was the presentation was a special moment for sure. It was the same number that my mom and my dad wore when they played sports at the same high school. So to kind of have my number retired there kind of represents our family in a way. So really special moment.
Can you talk about your career at UNC playing baseball?
Well, also kind of growing up as a sports lover, I was also a Tar Heel fanatic, and I still am. So being able to put on the Carolina blue jersey, one of the coolest moments of my life, still to this day, and able to go back there and relive some memories, see some pictures on the wall of you and your jersey up and a couple banners and able to show your kids. That's where Daddy played baseball at University of North Carolina and obviously built some tremendous relationships there. Not only with all of our players that we had and teammates, but also the coaching staff. And the head coach there now was an assistant coach when I was there. And amazing human being. The head coach that just retired, Mike Fox, Hall of Famer. We still stay in contact. Just a tremendous person as he is, and just a great memories. I met my wife there. So UNC is always going to hold a special place in my heart. It's not far from my house now, and anytime they're playing on TV, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, I'm locked in if I'm not there. So special place to me. That's the colors that I usually wear. Everyone in professional baseball that has played with me, and now the players that I will coach will obviously know where my heart lies as far as my college team. So I'll always be repping the Carolina Blue.
What did you accomplish at Carolina?
Numbers speak for itself. I don't want to get all into that, but I think I accomplished how to be a man, how to be a father, how to be a husband, how to be a friend. My degree, that's something that no one can ever take away from me. The team stats mean more to me there. Playing in 3 College World Series, playing for 2 national championships, and obviously having all the friends and relationships that I have now. But I mean, the numbers speak for itself. It was great, but that's not something I look back on. It's more the relationships.
Can you talk about your time playing for the Cincinnati Reds?
Yeah, so the Cincinnati Reds was late in my career. My last 4 years playing was with the Reds, and it was very injury plagued 4 years. I didn't really get to accomplish a lot on the field, but over those 4 years, I really kind of started to transition into my next chapter of my baseball life and coaching and mentoring young players. Dealing with adversity, made me look at the game from a different lens, and now I'm in a position where I can help some of our players and relate to them as they kind of go through their journey.
Can you talk about this new job that you have with the Cincinnati Reds and what you do?
Yeah, so I was just hired as the AA pitching coach in Chattanooga. I'm really, really excited. It's a new chapter in my life, but it's something that I feel like I've been preparing for like I just talked about the last 4 years. And being able to work for an organization like the Reds and the staff that we have and the mentors and leadership that we have, it's just going to help me. Obviously, I think any young coach wants to I want to get back to the major leagues as a coach now. I got experience as a player, and now I want to get back as a coach. But first, my job is to help the young kids, young players, and really do what I can to help them achieve their dreams and goals of I'm sure getting to the major leagues. But also from an organizational standpoint, we got to develop these players so we can bring a championship back to Cincinnati.
Congratulations on the job offer.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can you talk about your time at the Milwaukee Brewers?
Yeah, so the Brewers drafted me out of college, out of UNC, and spent my first 8 years in professional baseball with the Brewers, and all of my major league time with Milwaukee. Extremely special. Your debut was in Colorado. My debut was in Colorado against the Colorado Rockies. First hitter I ever faced was Todd Helton, which is probably going to be a Hall of Famer at some point. My first win was at Wrigley Field in Chicago. My youngest son, his middle name is Wrigley after that. So again, you look back on all this stuff and you think about the games and the competition, but the people that you were around and the relationships that you built that I still have is something that I'll cherish forever. But just playing in the major leagues, getting my first crack at professional baseball back in 2008 in Helena, Montana, all the way up to the city of Milwaukee and the fans of Milwaukee, and still have a great following from that fan base. They're really, really good people. It's a great fan base. They have a great organization. And of course, I always will wish them nothing but the best.
Can you talk about your time with the Atlanta Braves?
So I grow up, so kind of like growing up as a sports fanatic and a Tar Heel fanatic. I also grew up as a Braves fan with their monster pitching staff with Smoltz and Glavine and Maddox, and was always in the backyard trying to be like them. So my first time ever playing in Atlanta with the Brewers, it was pretty surreal playing at Turner Field from being such a big Braves fan, but then actually being able to be a part of that organization was something that, was really, really cool for me.
Can you talk about what it was like to put on your first MLB jersey with your name on the back of it?
Yeah. Never forget it. I'm actually looking at it right now. It's on my wall here upstairs in my house. And it was a pretty surreal moment walking into the clubhouse in Colorado and seeing your jersey hanging there with your name on it and the major league logo, and then getting to put it on and actually pitching that night in it. So pretty cool moment for sure. Something that I'll never, ever forget. And everyone talks about that first day in the major leagues. And it's true because it's pretty sweet.
Can you talk about your first time putting on the Carolina Blue jersey?
Probably just as special, just because of, growing up, living in North Carolina in the Tar Heel state, and able to put on that jersey with that logo. And I still put on that logo all the time and wear it proudly. And 98% of my closet is Carolina blue. Probably 98% of my shoes, my Jordans and Nikes, are Carolina blue. If you cut me open, I may bleed Carolina blue. So to put that uniform on is something that, and I'm looking at that jersey also at the same time. So it's a pretty cool. I've had a pretty blessed career being able to wear the Tar Heel jersey and the 3 professional jerseys that I've been able to put on.
Can you talk about your business that you just started, the C35?
Yeah, so C35 was created back in 2018. There was a inside facility here close to my house that I kind of got involved with, and just really wanted to help kids and teach the game and grow the game. And then, I saw a need for more that we needed in this area. So I founded C35 Baseball. The C being for Carolina, the 35 was my college number. So there you go, back to my Tar Heel roots. And then I partnered at the facility. And, since that time we founded the company in 2018, we had 22 players. And now 2.5 years later, we have over 120, and still growing, with 2 other locations, one in Greensea, South Carolina, one in Fuquay Varina, North Carolina, and our headquarters in Pinehurst, North Carolina. So it's been a really, really fun experience growing this business and putting staff around me and our team, and really, being able to give these kids the best resources to. Obviously, the percentages of guys making it professionally are small, but we can teach them other things in life because they'll be a professional at something. So we want to give them those life lessons.
Can you talk about the baseball and the softball and what y'all do for that?
Yeah, so as far as the softball is concerned, we brought on a lady named Paige Walters. She was an All-American at Georgia Tech. She's an executive at TBS now. She's really, really good. So she runs our softball department and does a really good job with those girls. Our baseball teams, they practice. They have sessions at our facility on a weekly basis. We're getting ready to start our winter player development program next week, where they'll be in our facility 2 days a week, going through a unique training performance workout plan to get them ready for their high school season, their middle school season, and obviously our young kids getting ready for their spring travel ball season. So we're constantly working with the kids, having fun with the kids, giving them staff full of knowledge and experience with former major leaguers, as myself, current major leaguers, professional coaches, a former sports performance coach in Major League Baseball. So we have a really, really unique staff that our kids get to learn from. So we've created a pretty good environment at our academy. And I'm there pretty much on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, really enjoying working with the kids. So something I love to do. I love to coach. That's why I'm coaching them professionally. And I love to coach these kids and continue just to grow the game in a positive way.
Do you have any players like in the major league or minor league that come back? Like, because I know that North Carolina produces a lot of like MLB players. Do you have a lot of them coming to your facility?
Yeah, we have a few. Yeah, we have a few. We have Peyton Williams, which is with the Atlanta Braves right now. We have Dylan Maples, which is with the Cubs, that comes in. Now that I'm a coach with the Cincinnati Reds, we have a couple of Reds players come in during the off season to do training sessions with me and our staff, and to continue their player development program to get ready for spring training. We have an NFL player training out of there. We have collegiate players coming back, with Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. They'll be using our academy. So we have a really unique situation and environment at our academy, and we try to make it really fun. So when our young kids come in, they see those types of players, just to motivate them and know that, hey man, like we can get there also and do the same thing.
That's wonderful. What advice would you give upcoming future players that are looking to get started playing in college and making its way to the major leagues?
you got to take it one day at a time. You got to dream big. I sure did. I mean, I dreamed of playing at Carolina, and I dreamed to play in the major leagues, and I was very fortunate to be able to accomplish both of those. You hear all the time hard work. It's pretty common statement, but it's true. And there's no shortcuts. It's a lot of sacrifice. I didn't take many vacations, summer vacations during the summer when I was coming up, because I was usually playing baseball somewhere. I didn't do a lot of the things that other kids got to do, but it all paid off at the end for me, and had a long career professionally, and still continuing my career as professional. But just dream big. If you don't dream big, you may accidentally hit that goal, and if their goals are not set high enough, then you're not doing it right. So set your goals high, dream big, and go get it.
What advice would you give upcoming future sports business owners that are looking to start owning their own sports business like you did?
That's a great question. And, I'm only 2 years into this, and still learning on the job, really, because I had zero experience, but I've had some really good mentors on the way. And you don't want to grow too big. You don't want to go too fast. It can be very overwhelming. And, we have grown at a steady pace, and sometimes we've grown a little bit too fast where I have been overwhelmed, but I've been able to put some really good people around me and delegate, and they've done a tremendous job to continue to grow our brand. But don't grow too fast. Don't try to get too big. Just take it one day, kind of like being a major league player. Take it one day at a time. You got to work hard at it. You got to put time into it, and you got to do things. Sometimes you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. But I'm still learning on the job, so I'm probably not the best person to ask quite yet. Maybe 5-10 years from now, when we've grown into something even bigger than we are now. And I'm extremely proud of where we are. I mean, from where we were 2 years ago to where we are now. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about. So I'm extremely proud of our staff and our players and what they've done to continue to market our brand. And I market our brand all the time, on my hat, on my shirt. So I'm proud of it. I know our staff is proud of it. So we'll continue to trend in the right direction.
What advice would you give high school athletes that are looking to get recruited and playing college baseball like you did?
Well, it's such a different time now than it was back in the early 2000s. There was no social media. So a lot of college, there was no showcase baseball like there is now. So a lot of college baseball coaches really had to go out and find these players and go to high school games. And you use social media to your advantage. Don't overdo it, but go to some camps. There's a lot of things out there just a money grab. You got to be careful of what those are. You got to make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people, but put yourself in situations to be seen, whether that's social media, whether that's camps, whether that's showcase events, and be realistic. Listen to anybody and everybody that comes to you as far as any kind of colleges, because it doesn't matter. Everyone probably has Division I goals, but I played with a lot of players in the major leagues that didn't play at big time colleges like I did, but they still made it to the major leagues. So I've always heard the saying of, if you have a jersey on, you have a chance. So keep the jersey on as long as you can. Take it one day at a time, and go try to achieve your goals.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media, along with C35 at?
Yeah, so my social media, my Twitter is at RobWooten35. Our C35 Twitter accounts are at C35 Baseball, at C35 Academy. You have at C35 Softball, at C35 Fuquay or C35 Fuquay, at C35 Coastal Carolinas. We have quite a few social media accounts because we're growing so rapidly. But our main one is at C35 Baseball. That can kind of take you to our website. It will take you to really all of our other accounts that we have. We have a really good marketing team also that's running all those accounts. I retweet and like a lot of the things that our social media accounts will post. And I'll post some things at times too about C35 Baseball. So we're still very new. We're still having fun with it, and we're still kind of in that growing phase.
Thank you again, Rob, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the Cincinnati Reds and, of course, with your business, C35.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Rob, for your interview, and best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Brandon. Appreciate it.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.